Ever feel kind of pulled between just like enjoying those little pleasures in life and like this urge to have everything just so perfect in place?
Yeah.
That's kind of the energy we're diving into today on ASTRALX, illuminating your cosmic path.
Yeah, it is a very specific energy. It's this beautiful dance between like grounded practicality and that refined beauty.
It is. We're exploring that cosmic combo, Taurus and Virgo rising for women in 2025. What does this celestial blend, tell us about navigating life?
Well, this speaks to a woman who's like deeply connected to the earth, right? She finds solace in nature and the finer things, but also has this desire for order and excellence. Think of like someone like Peyton Dix. She kind of embodies this blend. She's got that drive to nurture others with her Taurus sun, but she's also very meticulously analyzing every little detail with that Virgo rising.
I love that. It's like, enjoying that like luxurious bubble bath.
Yeah.
Right. But you also made sure that the towels were perfectly folded and like the candles were all strategically placed. It's not just about enjoying the experience. It's like making it an art form.
Yes, exactly. It's bringing beauty into every detail and a sense of elegance to just like everything they do.
So now when we talk about Virgo rising, we're talking about that first impression, right?
Okay.
How does this shape how others perceive these women?
Well, imagine a woman who walks into the room and she commands attention not through like loudness or extravagance, but just this quiet confidence. And she's so impeccably put together. There's just this air of elegance and like a timeless youthfulness that transcends age.
It's like that inner radiance,
Yeah.
that draws people in. That sense of serenity.
Absolutely. But we also have to acknowledge that Virgo's meticulous nature can turn into perfectionism, which can be good and bad.
Yeah, that double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It drives them,
Yeah.
but it can also lead to that self-criticism, right?
Yeah.
So it's that balance between striving for excellence and, self-compassion. But how does this Taurus and Virgo energy navigate 2025? What insights are there for these women?
Well, 2025 is a big year, right? There are significant planetary shifts that invite these women to embrace this kind of delicate dance of balance. Saturn, the planet of discipline and structure, it moves from their career sector into their house of relationships, the seventh house.
So instead of like building empires, it's time to cultivate those meaningful connections.
Yes, and it's not just romantic relationships. It's about all partnerships, friendships, family, even business collaborations, bringing that Taurian stability and commitment into every interaction.
It's like building that solid foundation that can weather any storm, right? But what about Jupiter, that planet of expansion and abundance? Where does that come in?
Well, Jupiter is gracing the ninth house, the realm of higher learning, travel, spiritual exploration. It encourages these women to broaden their horizons, both physically and intellectually, stepping outside their comfort zones, embracing new experiences.
So while Saturn's grounding them, Jupiter's urging them to expand. It's like having one foot on Earth while reaching for the stars, right? But how do they navigate this dance of opposing energies? What challenges and opportunities come up?
Oh, it definitely brings up like this dynamic interplay of energies, right? The challenge, I think, is in finding that equilibrium, that sweet spot where they can honor both the need for stability and that desire for growth. Saturn in the seventh house can bring up some tests in relationships, maybe highlighting areas where compromise is needed or, like old patterns that need to be reevaluated.
So it's not about avoiding those challenges, but seeing them as like opportunities for growth and deeper understanding.
Exactly. And remember, Taurus Virgo women, they're so resourceful and resilient.
Yeah.
They have this amazing ability to approach challenges practically and find solutions that work for everyone. And at the same time, Jupiter's expansive energy in that ninth house might bring this sense of restlessness,
Yeah.
a yearning for something more.
Like being pulled in two directions, wanting to deepen those roots, but also spread their wings.
Yeah. And the key is finding ways to honor both impulses.
Yeah.
Maybe taking a course that expands their knowledge while also strengthening existing relationships or traveling to a new place with a friend or partner.
Like weaving together those threads of stability and expansion, right? Creating a tapestry that reflects both.
You said it perfectly. And, to navigate this dance, self-care becomes like super important. Saturn demands focus on relationships and Jupiter urges them to expand. It's easy to get caught up and neglect their own needs.
Pouring from an empty cup, trying to do it all.
That's it. This is where that Virgoan practicality comes in. They need to create routines that prioritize their well-being. Maybe scheduling yoga, setting boundaries around work, or just time for quiet reflection.
It's not selfish. It's essential, right? To show up fully.
Couldn't agree more. And let's not forget those planetary rulers, Mercury ruling Virgo and Venus governing Taurus. They create a fascinating dynamic.
Remind us how they influence the Taurus Sun Virgo rising woman.
Sure. Mercury brings intellectual curiosity, that love for learning, and a sharp analytical mind. It makes them meticulous planners, great communicators, and amazing problem solvers. Venus, on the other hand, infuses them with a love of beauty, a desire for harmony, and an appreciation for life's pleasures.
A blend of the practical and the aesthetic, the analytical and the sensual. How does this play out in their relationships?
Well, they're drawn to partners who value stability and intellectual stimulation. Someone who can engage them in good conversations, appreciate their love for beauty, and create a home that's both cozy and beautiful. They want a relationship that's both grounding and inspiring.
What about career aspirations? How does this blend influence their choices?
They do well in careers that let them combine their practicality with creativity, like interior design, creating beautiful and functional spaces, or maybe a career in holistic health where they can help others through a balanced approach. Their meticulous nature makes them great organizers and project managers, but their love for beauty might lead them to artistic things like writing photography or floral design.
Finding that sweet spot where skills and passion align.
Right.
Creating work that feels fulfilling.
Exactly. And like we talked about, 2025 is about relationships for these women. So finding work environments that are collaborative and have a sense of community is key.
Speaking of relationships, we talked about compatibility. Can you expand on which signs might resonate with this combination?
They tend to gravitate towards partners who share their grounded, practical approach. Earth signs like Taurus and Capricorn offer that natural synergy, creating a stable and supportive foundation. They also appreciate the intellectual stimulation and communication that comes with air signs like Gemini and Libra.
So core values align best with Earth signs, but they can also connect with air signs, that groundedness and mental agility.
Exactly. But remember, compatibility goes beyond sun signs. A full birth chart analysis shows the nuanced dynamics.
We're more than our sun signs, right?
Yeah.
True compatibility comes from understanding that whole tapestry of placements.
Yes. And speaking of uniqueness, there's another powerful aspect to explore. Taurus Sun Virgo, rising women have this incredible wellspring of feminine energy that, when embraced, unlocks their full potential.
Oh, that sounds interesting. What does embracing feminine energy look like for these women?
It's about honoring their sensuality, creativity, and intuition. Taurus, ruled by Venus, already connects them to their feminine side, but Virgo rising can sometimes lead them to overemphasize logic and practicality, maybe suppressing their emotional depth.
Finding that balance between the analytical mind and the intuitive heart.
Yes, 2025 is a time to explore creative pursuits, connect with their bodies through movement and sensual experiences, and trust their intuition.
Embodying the full spectrum of their feminine power, from Virgo's grounded practicality to Taurus's sensual creativity, recognizing that their strength is in letting it flow freely.
You put it so beautifully. And remember, this journey of embracing feminine power is unique for every woman. It's about finding what resonates with their soul and expressing it authentically.
This deep dive has been so insightful. But before we wrap up, what are your final thoughts on how they can best navigate 2025?
I'd say approach this year with practicality and open-mindedness. Embrace those opportunities for growth that Jupiter brings while honoring the need for stability and connection that Saturn emphasizes. Remember, you are both grounded and ethereal, capable of achieving great things while nurturing those important relationships.
Powerful message. And to our listeners, regardless of your placements, remember the stars guide. They don't limit. You create your own destiny. And understanding your cosmic blueprint can help you navigate life with more clarity and purpose.
Well said. And if you'd like to explore your own cosmic blueprint, we have personalized astrological readings available through the link in the description.
Until next time, may your journey be filled with cosmic insights and abundant blessings.
And may you always remember to illuminate your cosmic path.
So we've explored like all these different layers of the Taurus Sun Virgo rising woman, her strengths, her challenges, her approach to life. But there's one more dimension I kind of want to touch on, her spiritual side. How does this cosmic combo connect with that mystical realm?
Oh, it's such a fascinating tapestry. It's this grounded spirituality and intuitive knowing. Remember, Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty, so it already has that connection to the sensual and the divine.
So they're naturally inclined to experience spirituality through the senses, finding that sacred in the everyday beauty around them.
Exactly. A walk in nature, a piece of art that moves them, a beautifully prepared meal. These can all become these portals to a deeper connection with something bigger than themselves.
It's like they're tapping into the spiritual essence of things, right? Finding meaning and purpose beyond just the material world.
And then that Virgo rising adds this layer of practicality. They're not necessarily drawn to rituals or dogma, but a spirituality that's grounded in action and in service, in making a real difference.
So less about chanting in a temple, more about finding that sacred in tending their garden or volunteering.
Exactly. It's about finding meaning and purpose in the everyday, in the tangible ways they can contribute.
It's like weaving spirituality into their lives,
Yeah.
making it a part of who they are, not something separate.
And speaking of weaving, remember those transits we talked about? Saturn in the 7th house, Jupiter in the 9th. How did these shape their spiritual journey in 2025?
Yeah, that's a good point. Saturn can bring challenges. So I'm curious how it being in the house of relationships impacts their spiritual growth.
Well, Saturn's influence might make them really examine their beliefs and values within their relationships. Are their partnerships supportive of their spiritual growth? Are there old patterns or beliefs that need to go in order to create more fulfilling connections?
So it's a time for deep reflection, maybe some pruning in those relationships to clear space for more authentic connections.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jupiter being in the 9th house, that realm of expansion, it encourages them to broaden their spiritual horizons. Maybe exploring different philosophies, traveling to sacred sites, or connecting with teachers who resonate with them.
Like the universe is nudging them to step outside their comfort zone and embrace new perspectives on the divine.
Yes, and with Jupiter, there's always that abundance, so this could be a time of huge spiritual growth and insight. But it's important for them to approach it with discernment, making sure their practices are grounded and authentic, not just trendy.
So finding that balance between exploring and being discerning, trusting their intuition to guide them.
That's key. These women have strong intuition, a deep inner knowing that can guide them. But sometimes that Virgo tendency to overanalyze gets in the way.
That head versus heart battle, right? The mind trying to make sense of what the soul already knows.
Exactly. So a big part of their journey in 2025 is learning to trust that inner voice, quiet the mind, and let intuition lead.
Surrendering to that deeper wisdom, knowing that sometimes the answers aren't found through logic.
Beautifully put. And as they trust their intuition, they'll find their spiritual path unfolds more easily.
We've covered so much in this deep dive. It's amazing to see all the facets of the Taurus Sun Virgo rising woman. From her grounded practicality to her intuition, she's such a blend of strength, resilience, and grace.
And as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with this thought. Embrace your duality. You're both grounded and ethereal, practical and sensual, analytical and intuitive. This is what makes you unique.
Such a powerful message. And to all our listeners, no matter your placements, remember the stars guide. They
Yes.
don't limit. You have the power, and understanding your cosmic blueprint helps you live a more authentic and fulfilling life.
Absolutely. And if you want to explore your own cosmic blueprint, we have personalized readings available through the link in the description.
Until next time, may your journey be filled with insights and blessings.
And may you always remember to illuminate your cosmic path.